Oh, yeah, do the fancy.
Hi, everybody. Weather Extra Time. 9:30 is the time. What's up? It's Weather Extra Time. I'm live. I'm on talking weather with everybody. You gotta get that little circle right there. Yeah, we were talking sports.
Fresno in 08, they had one of the most amount of losses. They finished with like 31 losses, but they didn't have a losing record.
See, that guy knows all the sports right there. Carl Prather. Yep. So we were talking. Just so you know, this is a weather hit, but we're really big into college baseball. Obviously, Auburn advancing to the Super Regional. Alabama came up a little short, but Murray State today upset Ole Miss, so Murray State advances to the Super Regional, which is a big deal. And Little Rock is beating LSU right now. Little Rock has a losing record on the season, and they could advance to the Super Regional. So that's a little sports stuff for you right there. We've been watching it. I've been locked in. I don't know if any of you care about college baseball, but if you do, and ESPN is they have that squeeze play, and it's awesome. They put like 16 games up at one time the other day, so you can get all the college baseball fix you want. So when the Trash Pandas go on the road, I watch college baseball. Actually, I watched it this weekend when they were at home. So, all right, let's go weather. Temperatures are all over the place this evening. We have some 60s, and we still have Athens at 80. So pick where you are on that map. I know the Shoals and Albertville are not reporting right now, and a lot of people have been asking me, why aren't the temperatures showing up there? When we had the storms the last couple of weeks, the communications from where the airports send the data to have been disrupted. They're still getting data, so we'll get it all filled in eventually. But they're not reporting because they don't have the ability to because of the storms we had the last couple of weeks. Shoals has been out for a while, and so is Albertville. Albertville, of course, gets their temperature from the Gunnersville area. So, but temperatures all over the place, a little humid, but real quiet pattern. Not as much haze today, so not the sunset. Last couple of nights had the particles in the air. We talked about that with the smoke coming down from the fires in Canada. That fire, the smoke itself has thinned out. So last couple of nights we had these incredible sunset views that had these like red hues to them, and they were amazing. You all sent pictures. I put them on air on Saturday and Sunday. And obviously particles bad for breathing, but cool for sunset looks and sunrise looks. Not as much haze out there tonight, so it was not as pronounced during the evening hours of sunset. Didn't have that like really hazy feel to it. It actually looked like a normal sunset, actually. So, but hi Adam, always checking in from Fort Payne. We appreciate that. So there's your temperatures, all over the place. First real stretch of weather we've had in quite some time, where we're warm every single day or hot, however you define it, 80s. To near 90. It's kind of where we should be for this time of year. But today was the warmest day we had at Huntsville since May 20th when we had all the severe weather that day. We had the 13 tornadoes, one water spout. And this is just going to continue for Tuesday and Wednesday and even Thursday. So Parkway right now in Huntsville, 77, dry conditions. I'm going to take you down to Florida. While we have all this really quiet weather, a friendly reminder to let you know that on June 1st, hurricane season officially began. Is that the right way to say that? Began? Yeah. Goes all the way to November 30th, but keep in mind you can have named systems like the hurricane season, like if the storm develops in the Gulf or develops in the Atlantic, it doesn't know when the date is. So we've had named systems in January before, but we don't have one named yet this year, and Andrea would be the first one, and we don't have a named system yet, but that cluster of thunderstorms but off the coast of Florida towards the Bahamas, the National Hurricane Center has given that area a 10%, tiny little chance, 10% chance of maybe becoming the first named system this year. It poses no threat to our area, but just a friendly reminder that hurricane season is underway now as it started on June 1st, and of course, every single year, the forecast is aggressive. It's just the way it is now. Sea surface temperatures are always warm. There is a little Saharan dust in that area too, which is making development would be challenging. But yeah, every year, the forecast is always like off the charts number of hurricanes we're going to have. Every year, it's the worst every year. But unfortunately, the last 5 to 7 years, it has played out to be active almost every year. And we'll keep an eye on the tropics. Nothing poses a threat to our area immediately, but it was just like a water cooler FYI information for you that we could have our first named system if that area develops. It's a very low chance, but it could happen. A few clouds tonight, muggy. we're in the mid-60s. Where you have an 80 and where you have a 68, where you have a 69, it'll all catch up and we'll all be in the same place by morning. So, oops, why did they hide that comment? Unhide that. Adam says, it feels pretty good out tonight. Adam, I agree. I just went home. I had my dinner. I was eating. I went outside for a little bit, took the dogs out. They were happy. Robo and Sky did their thing outside. They didn't want to come back in. They were like, this is pretty cool. Lisa says, Elmont here. I don't know why they hid that. And Ruth says, Vinemont. Beautiful. I call it Vivacious Vinemont because I love Vinemont. Beautiful area there. Hi, Ruth. Good to see you. Bill Beck, my good friend. What's up? I see you. Good. Okay, Jeff. Time to turn the faucet off for a few weeks. I'd like to go kayaking on Saturday. We're going to talk about Friday the weekend. I'll show you the 10-day forecast because tomorrow is a dry, sunny day. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. I don't think we'll hit 90. We haven't hit 90 yet this year. It's just getting late in the season for that. And I think besides a stray shower or two on Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to stay dry for much of the week. The problem comes Friday and the weekend. I'm sure many of you have already seen the 10-day forecast, and it doesn't look good. Hydro Fest this weekend in Guntersville could be a bit rainy. What I'm hoping is one system comes in Friday night and the next one comes in Saturday night. And if it rains at night, no harm, no foul, and you can still have a good day on Saturday and Sunday, but we'll see what happens. And, of course, if Bill Beck wants to go kayaking on Saturday, we have to make sure the weather's good for Bill because he's a pretty cool guy. We're a big fan of Bill. Tegan says, hello, Jeff. Hope you have a fantastic day. I will. I'm going to have a great night and a great day tomorrow, too. Yeah, I can't wait. Bring it on. Happy Monday Night Tuesday. Good to see you, Tegan. Jason says, feels good in Coleman, thinking about going fishing. Jason, I actually showed a fishing forecast at 5 o'clock today. I made a graphic. I mean, it's just a 3-day, but I throw the winds in there because I know as a fisherman or you're out there on the boat and it gets a little windy and you're like, ah. So there's a little wind for you tomorrow, a little bit of a breeze tomorrow and Wednesday. But no big widespread rainfall. Fishing forecast looks pretty good. Pool forecast looks good tomorrow too. All those little lifestyle graphics that we always are supposed to show. There's your 10-day. The spot shower chance for Wednesday, Thursday. More areas will stay dry than get wet. And then Friday, depending on when those storms come in, if they come in later in the day and they come in at night, you have a chance to warm things up. And that would be actually probably our best chance to hit 90. But it all hinges on how fast those storms come in. If those storms come in the afternoon, like 2, 3 o'clock, forget about it. Not happening. Forget about it. Saturday and Sunday, rain looks pretty solid right now. Severe weather, some gusty winds and heavy rain associated with thunderstorms Friday through Sunday. Right now it doesn't look like widespread severe weather, but certainly a big-time headache for outdoor plans for the weekend. Certainly not as nice as it was last weekend. Rain will be heavy at times, too, and that potential for heavy rain continues for the following week, too. Monday, Tuesday, and then probably another hit of showers and storms on Thursday. So we dried out for the first couple of days of June, but it looks like we're going to ramp the rainfall back up again on Friday weekend and next week. So, still a long way to go, especially for next week's rainfall. I mean, a lot can happen. Instead of a front just hanging out across the area, maybe it's a little bit more north, and we could take the rain out of the forecast, and it would be just a dry, warm stretch. We'll see how it goes. But the forecast for Saturday and Sunday looks pretty bleak right now in terms of rainfall coverage and any outdoor plans. So, Ruth says it's really nice out. It is. I think so too, Ruth. It feels good. We deserve a couple dry days, right? Right. We had a Saturday and a Sunday that featured no rain. I didn't have to track storms. It was wonderful. And then today, real quiet too. Besides a little haze at times with the smoke, it's been pretty easy peasy going on, which is good. Kaylee says, are we talking about loud storms or just some rain? I'm not sure, Kaylee, for which day, but I would say that any storm that we get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be certainly loud. They'll be bright and they'll be wet, for sure, which is what a thunderstorm does. Question is, do they go severe? And right now, again, gusty winds look like a primary concern, but obviously if we have to ramp up the severe weather threat, we will certainly let you know. But right now, it just looks like a lot of rain. So, and I'm sure the storms will be very loud. Could be very electric, too. Kaylee, hi from Section, enjoying the sunny weather after all the rain last month. Kaylee, I'm glad you're enjoying that sunshine. That's what I want to hear. Some of you were telling me, my good friend Rita Wynn in Mentone, she said that she had the pups out on the deck today, and she said she couldn't stay out. It was too warm for her.
Too warm.
Yeah, a
Oh.
little too warm.
Oh,
And I said this on air at 5, and
Yeah.
I made Margot laugh. I heard her because I said, you do you, boo. I mean, like, that's what I say when it comes down to, like, do you think it's warm? Do you think it's hot? Do you think it's humid? Do you think it's not humid? I can always tell you what the numbers say. Like, when we have a high temperature of 87, that's about what we should be for this time of year. So if you think that's hot, then this time of year is hot for you. If you don't think it's hot, you think it has to be like mid-90s to be hot, then that's you. That's mid-90s. And like the dew points in the 60s today, that's humid, but it's not like icky, sticky, gross dog days of summer gross. But like when you go dew points over 70, that's when it's really oppressive, and we're not there. But a lot of you were saying it was very humid today. It all comes down to how it feels for you. I can just tell you the numbers, but if you think it's humid, it's humid. That's the way it works. If you think it's warm, it's warm. If you think it's hot, it's hot.
Yeah.
If you think it's cold, we're going to have to talk. That's the only thing I have to talk.
Yeah, I don't know about that yet.
Yeah, if it's cold, then we got issues. Patricia says, hey, Jeff, haven't been on today. Recovering from, I don't even know what that is, in my back on Friday. Oh, my gosh. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds painful, and I hope you feel better. I know Patricia she suffers from asthma too, and she was having a little trouble with her asthma when the haze was here with the smoke. You know, and like I said, particles in the sky, bad for breathing, really cool for sunrise and sunset looks. But in all seriousness, is a health issue for many of you, bad for breathing, but for many of you that are sensitive groups where you have a sensitivity to extra particles like in the sky or air quality issues, that's a bit of a problem, obviously. But not as much smoke today, which was good. Angie says, I don't want any rain on my birthday. Can you make it go away, please? Above my pay grade, but let me see what I can do. When is your birthday? If you want me to wave the magic wand to take the rain out of the forecast, you have to tell me what day your birthday is, because I have 3 options through Sunday to take the rain out. So which day would you like it to be dry? And I'll see what I can do. Again, above my pay grade, probably not going to work, but I'm going to do everything I can, Angie, because I want you to have a great birthday. But you know what? You're going to have a great birthday anyway. Forget about it. The rain,
Absolutely.
rain just
Raining.
can't. It's not going to rain on your parade.
No, it's not. No.
That was cheesy. Big cheddar in the house. Yeah. Big cheddar in the house. Adam says monsoon season returns here. Here's an FYI for you, Adam. Did you know that there's a monsoon season in the desert southwest of the United States?
I didn't know that.
July and August. It's called the Pineapple Express. Not the movie, but the Pineapple Express. It's where the jet stream dives way south, and it's their rainy season. It's actually a monsoonal season. And some of that monsoonal, this is so bad to say, monsoonal moisture can actually lift north in the Rockies and bring rain all the way up into Wyoming. So we don't technically have a monsoonal season here, but it certainly feels like it lately with all the rain we've had, right? But monsoon's actually a seasonal thing. Dawn says, hi, Jeff, checking in from Macedonia. I just like saying that, Macedonia. Feels kind of fancy. Good to see you, Dawn. Thanks for saying hi. Appreciate it. Kaylee says, is this month going to be another washout? Well, we're 2 days in, and so far, so good, Kaylee. So far, so good. No rain the first 2 days. No rain tomorrow. Probably not going to have much rain Wednesday or Thursday. So that would put us 5 out of 5 to start the month. It looks a bit bleak for Friday and the weekend. Have to give next week some time to iron that out, because I don't know how much rain we're going to have Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. If it's going to be just a little rain or if it's just going to be like soaking rain. But overall, if you can get through the first 5 days dry, you're 1/6 of the month through, right? 1/6 of the month, because 30 days in June. Add 1, 5, 6. That was Jeff doing math on the top of my head really fast, and it didn't work out so well. That was all right.
Good, yeah.
1/6. So if you're 16, 1/6 would be what? 16%, roughly.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so roughly, look at, check with numbers, scary. 16% of the month is dry to start the month.
Yeah.
You're at a good head start, right foot forward.
Good odds right there.
There you go. Rachel, I'd be so happy to be back in Alabama tomorrow morning. I miss our weather and roads.
Oh.
Well, good. Welcome back home. Have you been gone for a long time?
That one. Big cheddar.
Oh, there she is!
Yeah.
Samantha. Big. I just had a really cheesy joke, and you know what? And there you are, almost like on cue.
I love it.
Big cheddar. For those of you who don't know, Samantha calls me Big Cheddar because I'm cheesy. And I don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool, actually.
great.
Who doesn't want to be called Big Cheddar? Good stuff. All right. I hope. Are you not entertained? That's the
You're
question.
not entertained.
I'm going to pull this 10-day off. You don't need to keep looking at it. In this little circle box. You don't need. You can just look at the 10-day. So there it is in all its glory. Again, Wednesday and Thursday spot showers. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, chance for rain goes way up. That does include obviously the weekend. And then next week we got some little thunderstorm icons there for Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. But give us time on that back end of the 10-day. Maybe we can pull some of the rain out. This weekend's going to be tough, though. I would love if we can catch a window, at least on Saturday or Sunday, where there's no rain, so HydroFest can have some activities during the day. And a lot of times, too, when you have these, like, chances for rain where you see Friday through Sunday, a lot of times this time of year, it's not a washout from start to finish. There's going to be some time during the day where it doesn't rain. The question is it during the day or does it happen at night? And obviously during the day would make more of a difference if you're trying to have outdoor plans. Unless you want to have a picnic at 11 o'clock at night, then it makes a difference, right? Samantha says, Macedonia makes me think of dinosaurs for some reason. I was thinking the same thing. You know what? I was thinking, like when I heard Macedonia, I was thinking of like Roman. Like, I don't know. Why? Why would I think of Romans?
It works.
Yeah? You think so?
Works, yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like old school, like chariots, people on chariots fighting or something. I don't know. Dinosaurs works better. I'm going to go with that, Samantha. Rachel says, weak driving through Arkansas, Texas, and near Oklahoma. Horrible roads and storms. Yeah. Speaking of that is one area that is getting throttled. Did you see on social media softball size hail in Dallas? I think it was over the weekend. Softball size hail. Tons of damage. It was crazy. They're getting storms like that in the panhandle of Texas tonight. And I do believe that some of that storm activity branches out into central Oklahoma tomorrow. So there's severe weather happening across the U.S. Thankfully for us, not now. And it's part of that system that's out to the west that will impact our area Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but in a lesser form is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that it's not widespread severe weather this weekend. Right now it does not look like that, but we'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, we'll keep you updated. Why is that Lisa? You're back. Thanks for the update, Jeff. Have a good night. You're very welcome, Adam. And Lisa says, thank you for the updates. Blessings to you all.
That is so nice.
Very nice of you, Lisa.
Got a good bunch tonight.
Good vibes on the weather extra.
great
Wah-cha-cha-cha-cha. I need to I've been doing that in slow motion lately. It used to be when I first started weather extra, I'd be really hyper and fast about it. Now for some reason
You're just not as energetic. What?
I just feel like it's cooler to do it slower, you know? I want to be cool. Yeah, it's hard for me to be cool. Kaylee says, I hope we don't go into drought too bad after all this rain. Kaylee, that's a great point. I put up on my Facebook page, I think it was last Friday or something, I put a Snoopy and he was upside down. He's like, please no more rain. I love Snoopy. Charles, Snoopy. You know who Snoopy, everybody knows who Snoopy is, right?
Everybody knows Snoopy.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Not Snoop Doggy Dog, but Snoopy. And but Snoopy was like, please no more rain. I put that, and there was two people that kind of went after me a little bit in a very fun way. They were like, yeah, say that in August when there's no rain and you're going to be in a drought. Well, I will say this. That's a great point to bring up, and Kaylee brings it up too, and I think that's very smart because you know the area, and you know that when we get to July and August, it can get brutally dry, and we were in a drought last year. But I will say this. We didn't have the kind of rain that we've had this year in May. Our numbers are right? And if we hit on some of this rain in June here this weekend, even though it's bad for outdoor plans, it keeps the rain on a consistent basis. So even when we get to July and August, if we run a stretch of 2 weeks with nothing and hot temperatures, it shouldn't dial up the drought all that much. But we'll keep an eye on it, of course, obviously. But yeah, that's a great point, though. Sometimes it's a lot of rain in May, right? But sometimes you kind of need to hit on that rainfall. I said that early May, and then now I feel really guilty for saying it because it rained every single day after that.
Yeah.
But
Entire month.
it's like Mother Nature heard me. Oh, you want rain? Okay, you're going to get some rain there, big boy. Here's a foot of rain in May for you in Huntsville, right? Adam, anyone see a few weeks back where a tornado put a 2x4 through a cow? Ooh, the cow survived. That's good. I forgot where it was. I remember seeing video of that though. But yeah, that's in a good way. The cow was okay, but maybe hurt a little bit. 2x4, not good. And also, in all seriousness, shows you what kind of force a tornado can do, right? Samantha says, I kind of like the slow. It reminds me of the slow motion bend backwards to dodge bullet thing like Matrix, like weather extra, right? Like that.
Oh,
Yeah. Samantha, you just get me. That's all I have to say. You just get me. I appreciate that. All right, I got to go. 9:50 is 9:49 is the time. We have a 10 o'clock newscast. Margot's here, and I am filling in for Brad tonight. Eric Burke will be here tomorrow morning. I will be here tomorrow night as well. And then Eric and I do that again on Wednesday. Brad will be back on Thursday. And I'm going to let him come back for all the storms on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
lovely.
But
Little treat.
I still have to work
It's
the
like a
weekend.
reward.
I still work the weekend, so I can't completely hide from it. But Eric Burke will have more on the forecast tomorrow morning. I'll be on air in about 10 minutes telling you pretty much everything I just told you now. And everybody have a very good night. And if you have a chance, enjoy the sunshine tomorrow. And Wednesday and Thursday looks pretty good too. If you don't mind a little warm or hot, it looks pretty good. Bye, everybody.